I'm just going to wait a few minutes to let all of you join us. Welcome on behalf of EF Academy. So nice to have you guys joining us today. So, all right, I'm going to get started. My name is Clara. I am the alumni coordinator at EF Academy. So I keep in touch with all of the students who join us for high school, either in our campus in New York or in Oxford or in the UK. And the journey when you join EF Academy really doesn't end once you graduate. You're part of the EF Academy family for life. So I like to keep in touch with our alumni, see what they get up to, the brilliant places they go. And so today we are going to meet one of our alumni and find out a bit about what life at EF Academy and after EF Academy looks like. So I'm just going to invite her now. To everyone who's still joining us.
Hi.
Hello, Bella. Nice
How are
to
you?
see you.
Okay,
I'm
hold
great.
on.
How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. So Bella is one of our EF Academy alumni. So Bella, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you?
Yeah. Hi guys. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Bella. I am from Thailand and I'm 20 years old right now. I graduated from EF Academy New York back in 2018.
Great. So I guess the first question is tell us a little bit about EF Academy New York. What is the campus like? Where is it?
Yeah, it's in Thornwood. The campus is really pretty. There's always such a great sunset like the end of the day. It's a lot of nature, I would say. There's a lot of forest, a lot of river, but also there's a mall, which is really nice. I remember the Winchester Mall is only 10 minutes away, which is like great. There's so many things to do there. Starbucks, Chick-fil-A, everything.
All you could want, really. And so you mentioned that you're from Thailand, right? What brought you to EF Academy in the first place?
Yeah, well, so I did the exchange program before, and that was supposed to be 1 year. But I really like a lot of things in the US. I like the education system, I like the culture and everything. So I decided to continue going to study in the US. And I was like, okay, let's see where should I go. And then I wanted to go to New York. So yeah, it was a good fit for me.
Mm-hmm. Great. Well, and you were there for how many years in the end?
2 years at EF, 1
2 years.
year before that. And then I'm in
Mm-hmm.
college right now. It's been about 5 years actually.
Yeah, great. So at EF Academy, which program did you study?
I did the IB program.
Mm-hmm.
It
Okay,
was,
and
I mean, you know the deal. IB is 7 classes. You can choose whatever you want to do, but it has to be in like the different category.
it's a tough program, isn't it? In many ways, but I hope it prepared you well for university.
Yeah, it really did. I get to explore more about classes that I like, classes that I don't like, the major that I want to get into, but also as the essay part, because that I remember I have to do what, like 6 different essays plus one big essays. And we have about 2 years to do it, but in reality, in college, you actually have 1 week for each essay. So it's definitely well prepared me for workload and different classes for sure.
Hmm. And then when it came time to applying to university, how did you choose your major? You know, when you're in 12th grade, how did you go about applying and choosing the university that you went to?
Yeah, well, honestly, I did not really know what I wanted to do when I was a senior in high school. But so I talked a lot with Drew Ganushi, who is the college counselor back then, and he was really helpful to me. He helped me through college application, the essays, and choosing college, and connect me with the admission office in college. So yeah, he was really helpful during that time. I ended up go to a liberal art college where I get to explore for about a year, my freshman year, and then decided about my major in sophomore year. So
Hmm.
it was a lot of exploring for sure.
Yeah. Did you always know that you wanted to stay in the US to go to university? Were you looking at other options?
Well, I was looking into UK as well. I applied to both school in the US and in the UK. Um, but I got into UK all of them. I also wanted to go there, but then I feel like because I'm so like familiar with the US already, might as well just keep going. And so I did keep going in the US. But I mean, I would love to go to the UK for traveling or for study abroad would be nice for sure.
Well, there's always time. Um, so tell me, having gone to high school in the US at EF Academy, what was different about high school at EF Academy compared to high school in Thailand, for instance?
Yeah, oh, there's a lot of differences. In Thailand, it's a bit more of you choose your path and then you kind of go along with it. You don't really get to choose the classes. The clubs is not that big, but it's also depend on school as well. I'm just talking about my own experience, but going to EF, there's so much more options when it comes to classes, when it comes to clubs and organizations, sport, so many different things that I get to explore. I did ambassador and student council and cheerleading. And those has always been like my dream when it's come to like American dreams when I was younger. I always wanted to do it, and I'm glad I get to do it in high school.
Yeah. Did you make close friends in through clubs that you're still in touch with today?
Yeah, yeah. So, like I say, I was involved in student council, and a friend of mine, Andrew, who's also part of it, we still get in touch. About last year, I went to New York, and he was there picking me up from the airport, and we still went to New York City, and we still talk until today, actually, which is so great.
Amazing. Are most of your high school friends still in the US or scattered around the world now?
I feel like everyone is everywhere. There's still a lot of people studying in college in the US, but there's still a lot like taking gap year or going back to where they're from, going to college there. Everyone is everywhere, really. And one of my close friends, she's from Switzerland, but she's taking gap year in Australia right now. So yeah, everyone is just everywhere right now.
So tell me how now that it's been a few years since you graduated and you can reflect back to your high school years, how do you think that EF Academy or going to EF Academy has shaped your life?
Yeah, well, so EF is really diverse. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anywhere else like this diverse, with 75 plus something student from different countries. That really made me become more global minded. And obviously, like the connection and having a friends from everywhere around the world. That is really amazing part.
Hmm. That's something that, yeah, I think both maybe in when it comes to university might have helped, but also just the personal aspect, right? The friends you've made from around the world and just the life experience of traveling abroad and studying abroad.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Even now that I graduated from high school, it's been like a few years now, but I still keep in touch. And I know if I ever want to go to Europe, if I want to go to China, to Vietnam, I know who to reach out to.
You
Like
have
it's
friends in all places. Amazing. So what do you miss most about EF Academy?
I miss, well, I really miss being in New York. Because normally I would go to the city every weekend, like having fun, going to different places, Brooklyn Bridge. So I miss that part a lot, but also the people. I miss a lot of my friends. I miss being there and having like the late night conversation, the weekend. There's a lot of fun.
And so, do you think that going to EF Academy was the right choice for you?
Yeah, well, I at first I wasn't sure what I wanted when it comes to college or high school, but after leaving, I feel like looking back, I'm like, wow, that was really a great decision for me because, like I say, international aspect is so important for me, and being able to have that at young age, I think is really important for sure. Yeah.
Hmm. Um, I'm gonna just check to see if we've had any questions come in. So I earlier this week we asked our followers to submit questions. So I've asked you most of those so far. Oh, here's one. So What was the best thing about your experience at EF Academy?
Hmm, the best thing. Well, I would say I get to explore and I get to do more things that I would not be able to do otherwise. For example, student council, it really did not struck to me that that is something I would do. But then Andrew came up to me one day and he was like, "Hey, like, so I saw you in a different like clubs and organization, and I think we're really compatible. I was wondering if you would be running for a campaign with me." And he ended up being the president, and I made it to vice president, which is like crazy.
Amazing. So you hadn't really considered it until Andrew, your friend, gave you
Definitely
the
not.
idea. Amazing. Let's see now. Here we have a question. Was your time at EF Academy useful for your future?
I feel like the IB was really useful when it comes to workload preparation. Also, the environment of everyone coming from different background was really helpful as well because it's important in life to be open-minded and to be able to speak with people from different backgrounds.
Hmm. Is that something that you had to use at university as well?
Yeah, yeah. College is going to be a lot of diversity there. People come from New Jersey, come from California, come from different part of the world, and having that ability to talk to people with more awareness of who they are and where they're from, I think that really helpful to me.
Hmm. Alrighty. Here. So you mentioned that you were in cheerleading at CF Academy New York, right? So here, when you choose cheerleading, was that a year-long club activity or was it only for a season?
It was a year long. We have fall and winter. Okay, it's been a while, but I remember I cheered for
It's
basketball.
hmm. Okay,
And
so
then
you joined, so you have the option to join more than one sport, right? Like if you do cheerleading, it doesn't mean that you can't do basketball or soccer.
totally, you can choose whatever you want to do. Just be able to manage the time. That is
Hmm.
the
Do you still remember some of the cheers from from your high school days?
really little bit, which I'm not gonna try.
Alrighty. Here we have another question. So, of course, there's school, there's academics, there's activities, but with the F Academy, there's also boarding. So, what is the best part of boarding school life?
I think having roommate is great. I mean, obviously, it's gonna be hard at first with like adjusting yourself to living with different people because a lot of us came, like living in our own room in our own country. But having roommate really help you when it comes to like solving problem with your roommate, communication skills. Those are gonna be important in the long term. But that is like another thing. Another thing though that is so fun about boarding life is being able to be around your friends 24/7. Late night talk was fun. Netflix party was fun. Those cool.
What did the boarding aspect, having roommates and sharing a room, what did that teach you about yourself, maybe?
Mhm. Mm. Well, okay. So we all have our own habits and things that we normally do, and going and staying with people from different habit can be really hard at first. But knowing that you have to adjust yourself in a way, like maybe that person would reduce this habit and then you do this for them, just balance thing out and being able to compromise with each other. And this is gonna be a skill you need in the long term.
Hmm. And I guess the independence that comes with that is also useful for university and even, I mean, university and beyond, right? You're there to take care of yourself.
Yeah, yeah, the independent part. Yeah, that part it's become a normal to me that I did not even realize that that was something. But definitely.
Great. So here we have, another question about making friends. So with everyone, students coming from all over the world, everyone is new at EF Academy at some point, right? How do you go about making friends?
Yeah, well, it's actually so much easier than I thought, because everyone are so new there and everyone wants to make new friends, everyone wants to go to the city. it's super easy to make friends during the first week of school. There's a lot of activities to do. There's a few, like on campus party, like disco night, a lot of different things that we can enjoy and get to know each other more.
I guess when everyone is in the same boat, right? Everyone is new. It also brings you a bit closer together to make friends all at once.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let me see what more. I'm only going to take a couple more questions. Oh, this is a nice one. So, what do you think is something you'd like to tell newcomers? So, students thinking of joining EF Academy or who haven't joined us yet, what do you think they should know? What would you like to tell them?
Ooh, there's a few. But I would say really for someone who actually going to be there, I would say enjoy the moment really because it can be challenging to balance out work and social life and sleep and everything. But being able to be in the moment, less time on social media, less time on Netflix, enjoy talking to your friends, going out and meet new people. That is definitely the key part because you only have 2 years to.
Those are probably the memories that you'll remember more fondly, right? The ones with your friends rather than the ones in your room watching Netflix, although those are important too.
Those are
All right. And so I guess what about for students who haven't really decided, or maybe they're a bit nervous or apprehensive about either studying abroad or going to a new school, changing, the academic program that they're in, if they're a bit uncertain, what would you tell them to think about? What advice would you give?
well, this is from my personal experience, but being able to step out of my comfort zone and doing things that you look back and you be like, oh, I'm glad I did that. That is like the mindset that I always keep. So if living in the city is something you always wanted to do, living with a roommate is something you always wanted to do, maybe think about it and see if you wanted to go that path. And if not, that's fine too. I mean, I'm sure there's more to do in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a big decision. It's normal to have lots of questions when considering going to a new school or moving abroad. But I think for that reason, especially, it's so useful for students to hear from our alumni their own experiences. They've been through everything from, the very beginning of applying to EF Academy to getting ready to go and then living the whole high school experience. And you made it out on the other side perfectly, perfectly well, and with some great experiences and hopefully a strong preparation for university and life after high school.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
So I think I'm going to wrap this up. This is our first alumni talks, and it's been amazing to have you, Bella, as our very, very first guest. Great to hear about your experiences in New York, coming from Thailand, studying in the US. And I hope that everyone watching has appreciated your advice and learning from your experiences as well. So for everyone watching, every month, at the end of the month, we will be featuring or talking to another one of our alumni to share the many different experiences and stories that they have. Hopefully Bella has answered a lot of questions already, but if you have any more questions about EF Academy, the experience, academics, our campuses, anything at all, you can just send us a message on Instagram. We will be there to give you more information and hopefully see you again at a future talk. So thank you
Yeah.
again so much, Bella. It's been really, really great to talk to you.
Thank you for having me today. I'm so honored to be the first person.
It'll go down in history.
All right, talk to you
Have
later.
have a great day, Bella. Bye. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.